I'm gonna be making a fresh salsa. We had so many things come out of our garden. So I'm just gonna slice these up. And yeah, my mission is to use all of my gardening stuff. I actually have some green tomatoes too that I think I'm gonna try and make a salsa verde. So I'm gonna try that too. I got a couple recipes. So let me get the second one done here. All right. I got these knives from Cutco. They're amazing. This is my favorite knife. So now I'm cutting the peppers. Just give you a little tip on how you can get this core out. I just got a smaller knife. You just go in the top and just cut a circle around. I actually learned this from my son, Brendan. We were cooking the other day and I was like, what are you doing? Look at, whoa. All right, so let me finish cutting this. I already cut one of them. So I'm just gonna cut it in strips. I feel like sometimes when you do things from scratch and don't use all those wonderful tools for making cooking easier, I feel like it's more love, you know what I'm saying? Like when my family knows I cut all this up myself, knowing I could use a better tool, I think they appreciate it. There's certain foods I can make at certain times. I don't know if you guys' families like that. So like right now, my family, I haven't bought bread in like, I don't know, almost 2 months because my family goes through phases where I'll buy bread and it'll mold because they aren't into sandwiches. And then I won't buy bread and they'll be like, where's the bread? You know, and so we really don't eat. I know you guys watch my videos and I've been buying like different things, but I try and put some recipes on for you guys to see, but we do eat other things. I don't video everything we eat because a lot of people are like, you never eat vegetables. We do. And you've seen my video where we had the huge garden. Maybe it was on my TikTok. I'll have to make sure I get it on there. Okay, so I'm finishing chopping up these peppers using my favorite Cutco knife. We do like chunky salsa. So I am going to cut it a little bit, but still keep it big. Trust me, I have all the tips and tricks for making things easier, but I kind of want to do it this way this time. And then when I get done doing this, I'm going to like let it set because I think the longer it sets, that's when like the flavors kind of blend. So let me just get these peppers in here. Then let's get the tomatoes cut up. I'll buy something and they'll like, yeah, we want this. And then all of a sudden like it just goes bad because they're not using it. So right now my kids, we're just not a sandwich family. I know a lot of people have asked us to make sandwiches. And this is also my next Cutco knife. This is like a bread/tomato knife. People ask me all the time to make sandwiches and stuff, but we just don't eat sandwiches. My kids are a little older, so I try and make, you know, they're always hungry. So I have to make foods that are filling. And we don't eat a lot of processed stuff. Yes, I have been getting the different biscuits for trying different recipes, but I don't buy a lot of boxed stuff. We try and have our own meat and stuff and pork. So plus honestly, with a big family, I really can't afford to get a lot of stuff. Like I don't buy pop. We do some cookies because we really like our Oreos, but I really try hard to do a lot of stuff from scratch because with a big family, you really can't afford to get all that processed stuff. Like you really can't. It's so expensive. And having 6 boys, I mean, sometimes we do, but I'm paying a ton of money for my kids to devour something. And don't get me wrong, we do have snacks and, you know, things like that, but I do try to use my resources as much as possible. And I think it saves us. That's why I do a lot of canning, especially in the winter when a lot of fruits and vegetables aren't available or they're not fresh. So we really are very careful. Plus I do have some kids who do have, you know, some disabilities or some emotional things. And I think that when you do a lot of chemicals with kids who have disabilities, it doesn't help them. I really think, especially my Joshie who has seizures and takes medicine, I try not to give him a lot of processed stuff because a lot of that processed stuff, and I hate to even get on, you know, with this, but a lot of that processed stuff, it does affect like your brain and it affects your lungs. And so I'm very careful what I feed my kids. And I ran out of bacon, so I've been buying the Hormel bacon. And it's the only one that has no added sugars, nitrites, nitrates, phosphates. You know, I try and stay away from BHT, EDTAs. I try to stay away from that stuff too. So just like cereals, when I do buy cereal for my kids, sometimes we'll have a treat for cereal. But when I do buy cereals, I have to look on the back and see which ones are preserved with vitamin E and not EDTA or BHTA or BHA. So there's limited cereals I buy for my kids when we eat cereal, and that's not common either. I never make my kids cereal. Cereal is usually a treat. I have a whole farm full of eggs. I mean, why would I buy cereal? So anyway, I'm gonna cut up my cilantro. I didn't get a lot, I just kind of ripped off a little bit. But I have 2 medium onions, 2 green peppers, and about maybe 6 large tomatoes. So let's get this chopped up. And what's really nice about herbs is the smaller you chop them, the more of the oils come out into it. So you want to make sure that you really get that, you know, you don't want to just throw a chunk of herbs in there because you got to get those oils out of the leaves and the flavor so they can taste it. So if I need to add some more later, I will. All right, let's put this in there. All right, don't want to waste any herbs. Now I'm gonna squeeze my limes. I have 3 limes cut up in half. So I'm gonna just do maybe 2 to start. We really like the lime flavor, so I'm just gonna squeeze that in there. There we go. All right. So what's easier when you have your lemons or your limes, roll them on the counter first to just kind of like get the pulp kind of loose, and it's easier to squeeze them in when you do that. I've already cut mine in half, but I'm gonna do a little rolling anyway. All right, let's squeeze that. It's looking great. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna do 2 limes. I do have another one if I need it. All right, let's get this one in there. All right. So good. All right, and then now I am a garlic girl, so I'm gonna put garlic, fresh garlic, minced garlic, and I'm also gonna do garlic salt. So let's get some garlic in here. It's about a tablespoon of garlic. And then I'm going to do, I don't know, just gonna sprinkle it on here. We really like salt in our salsa. I think it really kind of evens out like the citrusy kind of taste. And then I'm also gonna do a little bit of cumin, not a lot. My mother-in-law said just use a little, so I'd say maybe a half a teaspoon. So I added a can of tomato paste. I actually have 2 cans, but I put 1 in first. So when you make your recipe and then set things aside, because you never know, you might have to, you know, we like to try it and see how it goes. So you might have to add some more stuff. So I'm gonna keep this tomato paste to the side just in case. And now I'm gonna add green chilies. I normally add jalapenos. I don't have any jalapenos with me. That's kind of what salsa is. You know, you don't have to stick to a certain recipe. You can kind of mix it up and put what you want in there. That's the whole part of like making up your own recipes, trying out things. It's kind of a trial and error. So we do want a little bit of kick to it, but not a ton. So I'm gonna add a can of green chilies. And who knows, we might like it, we might not. I don't know, but that's what I'm doing today. All right, let me put this back. All right, so now I'm gonna mix all this up, and then I'm gonna try it out and see. It smells wonderful. Okay, so I got this all mixed up. I'm going to just try it to see if we need to add anything. All right, let's try it out and see. It's salty enough. I think I need more cumin. All right, so I'm gonna add more cumin. And I do think it needs more cilantro. So I'm gonna throw some more cilantro in there. I'm just gonna tear it up with my hands. Mush it all up real good. I can tear it into pieces like a knife. Okay, I think it needs that. And I do think it needs a little more lime. The salt is perfect. The garlic salt is perfect. I'm throwing cilantro everywhere. All right, and then I'm gonna do one more of my limes. Roll that a little bit. And it is kind of spicy, like the green chilies. It's nice. I think as it sets longer, I think it's going to be even better. All right, let's stir this in. And that's really, you really don't know the flavor of your salsa until it sits a little bit. All right, so this time I think I don't want to double dip. So I got some chips. I'm gonna try it out here. That's pretty good. I'm gonna let it set. I can taste the cilantro, the lime, the salt. Okay, there's my salsa for my family of 10.